Hello and welcome to Roycey's Quality Content.
Hello and welcome to Roycey's Quality Content. Before we start, can I ask you a question? How is it that the stripes in a tube of toothpaste stay perfect all the time? I mean, just look. Look at that. Look. Incredible. Now, I think it's fair to say that for planet Earth, 2020 has been quite a year. You've had the Hong Kong protests at the start of the year. Also at the start of the year, you had the Australian bushfires. The UK formally leaving the EU. A very controversial Belarusian presidential election. Bit of good news. You had SpaceX, the Dragon capsule, making its way to the ISS. And what else was there? Something pretty big, I think. I don't know. Now, in that same light, I thought this is the perfect opportunity for me to learn a bit more about this world that I live in. Therefore, I took it upon myself a little while ago to purchase these. Made by Cardia, they are 240 flashcards which give you the flags and capitals of countries, provinces and other territories across planet Earth. Now, on the whole, these cards have been absolutely fantastic. I'm not normally one for learning things by means of using flashcards, but for these, absolutely superb. All that is, except one, and it's one very close to home for me, quite literally. I'm going to show you a close-up of the card for Wales, right now. And you'll see that Cardiff is nowhere near where it's meant to be. Now, on the card itself, it's closer to one of my favourite towns in the whole of the UK, that being Tenby. Highly recommend a visit if you're in Wales. But, aside from that, I have found some little tips and tricks on how to remember certain elements of these cards, be it the flag itself, be it the name of the capital city, anything like that. Now, I'm going to share some of my wisdom with you. How do you learn some of these things? Let me tell you. Okay, if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's begin.
Let's begin with number 10, shall we?
At number 10 on this list, a little bit of a surprise one. If you're not that big on your European geography, this is one of those that will catch you out. Switzerland. And its capital city is one that can catch you out. And if you're not careful, you'll feel the Bern. That's right, Bern is the capital of Switzerland. Yet it's only the 5th biggest city in the country, behind Zurich, Geneva, Basel and Lausanne. So, don't forget, feel the Bern, the capital of Switzerland.
9.
Now, you'll have to pardon me for using a British term for this one, but if you're not careful, you're going to put your foot in this. The capital of New Zealand. See what I did there? Put your foot in it? That's right, it's not Auckland. A lot of people think it's Auckland, again it being the biggest city, but instead, Wellington. So that is how I remember the capital of New Zealand. If I'm not careful, I'm going to put my foot in it. A Wellington. Boom.
Number 8.
At number 8 on the list, we make our way to Africa and the tiny East African island of Comoros. Now, this is one of those where I can't really give you any hints on how to memorise the flag, but there is a relatively easy way of knowing what its capital is. Take a look at the crescent and stars on the left-hand side of the flag, and let's turn it 90 degrees. Now, to me, that looks like a bowl of pasta. Could very easily be a bowl of macaroni. And what do you get if you shorten macaroni and make it sound a little bit different? You get Moroni. The capital city of Comoros, Moroni, or macaroni.
Goodness me, it's number 7.
At number 7 on the list, we have 2 countries, actually. Either side of the South American country Suriname, we have Guyana and French Guiana. Pronounced very slightly differently, but what more do you expect from the French? Now, have you got a map of Britain handy? No, stay with me on this one. Get that map, have a look at this flag, and tell me that that line doesn't almost exactly to the degree match the distance, match the angle between Dover and Calais. So how do you remember what the flag of French Guiana is? Just look at the line. And as for the other one, Guyana, the only English-speaking country in South America, with a 3-colour system on its flag. Easy to remember. Ready, set, Guyana.
Feeling fine, it's number 6. Hang on, that rhymes with 9, doesn't it?
Thirsty work this is, teaching all you lot. Give me a moment. Much like Comoros, next up on this list is a tiny British overseas territory in the Caribbean called Montserrat. Now, there's nothing overly special about this flag, but if you look at the emblem on the right-hand side, you will see a lady wearing a green dress. How then does that help you remember that the capital is Plymouth? Well, if you're a football fan, or a soccer fan, pardon me if you're watching in America, you'll know that Plymouth Argyle Football Club play in an all-green strip. So for me, it's a very easy one to remember. This is simply the Lady of Plymouth. And if you're familiar with a certain commercial for an insurance brand from a few years ago, you'll remember comedian Paul Whitehouse going, "You Jenner!" in a car. "Newcastle away today," or something like that.
I know it's not Christmas yet, but 5 gold rings.
Now, all you vexillologists out there already watching will know that this flag is a particularly special one because it's the only one that happens to have an AK-47 rifle on the front of it. I mean, would you? Well, Mozambique did. But how do you remember its capital? Well, if you look past the gun, quite literally, you'll see that said gun is on top of a book. And if you call that book a map, and you pretend that it's a map, then it's a very easy way to remember that the capital of Mozambique is Maputo. So, Maputo, the clue is on the flag itself. Never mind the gun, there's a map.
If you've made it this far, you thoroughly deserve number 4.
This next one is both a very exotic destination and one for all you rugby league fans out there like me. I am on about St. Lucia. Now you're going to be thinking, what on earth has the flag of St. Lucia got to do with rugby league? Well, let me tell you. The capital of St. Lucia is a city called Castries. Now you're thinking Cass, you're thinking maybe the Castleford Tigers? Stick with me on this one. Take the flag and turn it upside down. Now, if you're big on rugby league like me, does that not remind you a little bit of the colour scheme of the Castleford Tigers? So, just take the flag of St. Lucia, turn it upside down, and what have you got? Castries. See? So, let's recap. Flag of St. Lucia, turn it the other way around. Castries. Clever.
Yes, he's not the biggest fan of countdowns, but here's number 3 anyway.
This next one, once again, is very much one for visual representation and interpreting thereof. The French overseas territory of New Caledonia. Now, again, it's a very small country, but if, like me, you want to learn all these countries and all these territories, that is where this pack has come in very handy. So very small and relatively unknown countries like this can ordinarily be quite difficult to understand. But if you instead think that this little emblem here, the black thing in the yellow circle, do you want to call it a kebab? Because I do. Call it New Kebabadonia. New Kebabadonia. Now, what do you have with your kebab? Do you have it with mayonnaise? Or mayo? No, I certainly don't. So I have my kebab with no mayo. The capital city being Noumea. Close enough. So once again, look at the kebab. I mean, it's not a kebab, but think of it that way. New Kebabadonia. How do you like your kebab? With no mayo. Noumea.
2, 2, 2.
3 in a row for visual representation, and this time it's the Solomon Islands. This one is another where the actual flag itself gives you a good hint as to both the name and the capital of the flag you're looking at. Now what could that be? Look at those stars. There's 5 stars. And that tells me that there are 5 syllables in the name of this country. And it is the Solomon Islands. Solomon Islands. 5 stars? Works well. But how do you understand that the capital is Honiara? Well, I treat this line going between the 2 corners as a line of honey. I know I probably sound crazy, but I assure you it's these kind of things that will help you remember what capital cities and what flags are. And indeed the names of countries. Remember, 5 stars, 5 syllables in the name, Solomon Island. Now sticking with what we just learnt with that flag, after this video go away and have a look at the flag of Grenada, the Caribbean island of Grenada, and tell me how you think I remember what the name of the country is and what the name of its capital is. Again, just have a look at the front of the flag. Everything, now that you know about that, should be clear to you.
And last but not least, number 1, the best of them all, I think.
And now for my personal favourite, and a joke to finish off with. What route does a Frenchman take to get to Malawi? You ready? You ready for this?
Le long way. Je m'appelle Martin. C'est le long way.
Again, I'm not here to do accents.
And I've no idea why this slide's here, so let's just get back to Roycey.
Oh, that was fun. What's next? How about a haiku? I hereby confirm you can't play chess by yourself. You need 2 players. Well, that's all for this episode of Roycey's Quality Content. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. If you did, don't forget to hit like and hit subscribe, and hopefully I will see you soon for some more fun. In the meantime, I have no idea how this mug has just changed. Look, it was spades before and now suddenly it's diamonds. I've no idea. I'll see you next time.
Thanks again for watching Roycey's Quality Content, and wherever you are in the world, until next time, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.